Aren't breaking any news by telling you inflation is bad right now. Groceries and gas prices are much higher than they were last year, with no real end in sight. Joe St. George takes a look at the tools lawmakers still have to provide some relief and the action the Biden administration is considering to solve the problem.
Things are expensive nowadays, aren't they? To demonstrate that, I could show you graphs or fancy numbers, or I could just open my fridge. Poultry's up 14% from last year. Dairy, 7%. But you're not interested in another person on television telling you things are expensive. You're interested in solutions, and one idea some lawmakers have involves China.
We haven't heard a lot about China recently. The Olympics are over, and in the world of international politics, Russia and Ukraine are dominating the news. But I have two words for you: Chinese tariffs. It may sound boring, but could changing them make things cheaper? It's certainly a discussion happening in Washington this week.
A tariff is just another word for a tax.
Because I'm not an international trade expert, I wanted to do a quick video chat with Doug Redeker, who has served everywhere from the World Economic Forum to the International Monetary Fund. He says former President Trump enacted tariffs on China before leaving office as a means of penalizing the country for poor economic practices. Those tariffs were meant to make China pay more and change their ways. Redeker says for the most part, China has not evolved, with the costs ultimately being passed on to you.
The tariffs didn't actually hurt China as much as it hurt American consumers.
Now, Secretary of Treasury Janet Yellen, as well as other top officials, have discussed the possibility of rolling back those tariffs as a way to help make your trip to Walmart or another store cheaper. Redeker says it might help.
Obviously, if you remove a tariff, the price will go down. Almost everything that you would find in your local Walmart or other shopping store, if it's manufactured in China or has components from China, it was probably on a list that was subject to tariffs.
Under current law, President Biden could change these tariffs on his own. Congress could also take action. But as we begin a new week, there remains some opposition to the move. There are concerns China would view this as a win if the tariffs go away without consequences, with former President Trump's top trade advisor, Robert Lighthizer, recently writing, "Inflation today is highest in the fuel, food, used cars, and some services sectors. None of these is imported from China." In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.